Going. So happy Saturday morning. Thanks for
Hmm.
hopping on. There's just really not a ton of announcements, really. The only things I saw back there was Coach Summit sale is right now. I know that they always kind of start it in the fall and then it kind of goes until I feel like Summit starts with the sales. But right now it's 155 if you haven't yet bought your ticket in New Orleans, July 15th through the 19th. So that's one of the things I need to start looking at is either hotels or like a house or something. So I'm going to put that on my list of things to do. Look
Yeah.
at lodging.
I mean, depending on how many people we had, a house might be a good idea,
Right.
as
Yeah,
we
so I'm going to put that on my list of things to do and then looking at it. This week.
The Bourbon Orleans is really great. That's where we always stay.
The
It's
what?
called the Bourbon Orleans, I think it's called. It's right on Bourbon. Like it is. Yeah, it's a really great hotel.
Okay. All right, I'll look at that too, just to see some cost comparisons too, and check out. I don't know if Beachbody, I know they have like a site to look at hotels too, so I'll look at that. Okay. So then 6 weeks to work, that promo code's ending on Halloween for the discount if anyone is interested in that. Super Saturday's next Saturday, so in lieu of having this meeting, I don't know if anybody else, Amanda, you said you were going. I didn't know if Renee was going.
I haven't bought my ticket, but I do plan on it.
Okay, cool. So I'll be there too. I know it said it starts at 9 a.m. and it goes till 1:30, but it said 9 to 10 was just kind of like social hour. And I'm trying to make a little bit of both kids' basketball games. So I'll probably get there closer to 10 because that's when the actual meeting starts.
Okay.
And then I'll probably skip out a little bit earlier too, but I won't work out. But I do have one of my neighbors joining me too, so she's going to meet me there, which is fun. Okay, so yeah, that's really it on the announcements. There wasn't a whole lot. And then, of course, like this is the last week of the Beat Your Best thing. And oh my gosh, I swear I always do my worst when we have these competitions. I'm still at 0, but I'm still working through it. I'm still going to be following up with people. But I was just this week looking at, I think I've mentioned her name before, but Ashley Feldison, she's just this year became a 15-star diamond. But just 3 years ago, she was a struggling diamond herself. And so later on, I'll show you kind of like, you could see her transformation through her YouTube videos that she's posted, like with team calls and stuff like that. But she's such a great example of just how this business and how herself, has been this up and down, up and down, up and down thing. She was like a diamond, then she became an 11-star, I think, within 2.5 years, then dropped to a 3-star, and then became a 15-star. And so I really have become somewhat obsessed with her videos just because of her trainings along the way and who she's become in the process. But so she did a call, and I wanted to kind of touch base on it. And it was based on don't wish to be further along. You're right where you should be based on who you are currently. Let me see if I could share my screen. So I just kind of added I just went with the topic and wanted to share some of that with you because I found it really good. See if I could pull this up. All right. So this was, one of the quotes, don't wish to be further along. You're right where you should be currently based on who you are. And as we know, this business, it really transforms ourselves and pushes us to become a better person. And as she was saying, back when she was a struggling diamond, she would look at like the Lindsay Matt Ways or the Melanie Mitros and say, gosh, like you know, she's like, I would be watching them buying their Range Rovers and buying their dream homes and all this stuff, and I'd get jealous about it. But she's like, with some major deep reflection, you know, I had to check myself and say, am I really doing the things that they're doing every day? You know, and the answer was no, you know. She said she would do the things some days, but then some days wouldn't, you know. And so that was in 2016. And she had mentioned in 2017 is really when she came to a crossroads, because she was a teacher as well, a first grade teacher, and really checked herself and made the decision to do the things every day. And that's really when her business exploded. It was just doing the little things over every day. And I know we hear it a million times, but that's really what propelled her to building this mountain over time. So, but yeah, so like I said, we are becoming the person that we need to be, and it will happen when it's supposed to be. So let me move this. I'd found this online. I just wanted to share it with you guys. So it says success is built upon a mountain of mistakes. So the higher that mountain, the greater your success. But it does take a long time, you know, and everybody's different. So, you know, as you learn from your mistakes and failures, the more expert you'll become in what you do. And honestly, what they had found from research is those who pursue success for a long time actually do build a very strong foundation for success. So the longer it takes, the greater your foundation will be just through that trial and error period. And patience is really the most important habit that, you know, the highly successful have. So, you know, in this research, it said the average self-made millionaire, which I don't know if that's what your goal is. It could be just to supplement your income. It could be $100,000. But for millionaires, you know, it says 12 years is about the average it took for self-made millionaires. And why did it take so long? Because of all the mistakes that you have to go through, and then also because of the person that you have to become in that process, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought this was funny that most people suffer from, you know, the bright, shiny object syndrome, which is a poor habit, which you're easily distracted, you lose focus and move on to a new thing that grabs your attention, which I know I've been there multiple times. You know, I'll listen to a National Wake Up Call and I'll be like, ooh, yeah, she's doing this. I got to implement that. And then what does it do? It takes me away from this, right? It takes me away from doing what I should be doing because I listen to a thing and I say, oh, that's what brought her success. That's what I need to be doing. But in reality, this is what really brings us success, is just connecting with people, inviting people, adding people to our network. So that really, you know, hit me good, because I was just like, yeah, that's totally what I do a lot of times. So the longer success takes, the longer it lasts. So some of the other things that can contribute to why you might not be where you are currently right now is not doing the tasks that count, just like I held up my Success Club system tracker, and then also tracking it. So what I've realized with myself is, instead of just what I was doing the tracker, but then logging like the people in my streak. But, you know, honestly, some days I'd be like, well, I don't know how many people I actually talked to or how many people I actually added. So I just made like a quick Excel sheet that I had seen, where basically connections, add followers, invites, follow-ups, and then I have a separate column for recognition. And so every day I'm going to be printing this out. So this was Friday. And it was really good for me, because I put how much time I was working on my business. So Friday, yesterday, I volunteered in the morning. So I worked from 1 to 3:10 p.m. And in that time, I made, I made 10 Facebook connections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Instagram connections where I was like starting conversations. I added all followers that I wanted to, 10 per each, Instagram and Facebook. But then when I got to invites, look how many invites I only did. 2. You know, so for me, I was like, then it was 3:10 and I was like, shit, I'm out of time because I have to go get the kids from school. But it was really good for me because it highlighted where I'm falling, and so when I go to work next time, I need to start on that invite section and then do the follow-up and then do the connection and add followers. And I know it's just like, this is me doing this new, but it really helped me see like where I'm struggling and where I need to focus. But also I know, and I have a slide later, but it's just like through the repetitiveness, like we're so bad at things when we first start it, right? And then over time, you're going to get better and better. But number 2, you haven't failed enough. So how many days a week are you really doing the tasks that you need to be doing to get things done? There are no shortcuts. It just takes time and patience. Number 4, everyone has their own time zone. So like Ashley, she was 22 when she started. Now she's like 26 or something. So for Ashley, it's in her 20s. For us, it might be in our 30s or 40s, so everybody, there is no set age for success, and it really just becomes with the person that you become. Number 5, some people are scared of failing and taking lead and being okay with that. Number 6 is dwelling on negative events. So instead of dwelling on my only 2 invites on Friday, I'm going to take that as like, okay, well, that's where I need to start when I go to use this again. And I know, Renee, you had posted something in our thread the other day about the same effects of like, don't dwell on yesterday, today's a new day, same type of mindset, which I love. Number 7, you haven't looked at your goal in a while. So one thing I do love about the Rise Up is it is part of like the daily routine of looking at my goal every day, which I know that helps me tremendously when I go to sit down and work and just get in the right mindset. Number 8, you're forgetting the law of incubation. So just like chicks hatching, we all have our little incubation period where, like this, it's just like a little bit to see, how that felt, and a little bit more out of your comfort zone until, you do blossom into a full chick or a butterfly or however you want to view it. Number 9, you're too focused on your ego. So great book. Get over your damn self on that. Instead of worrying about what other people are going to think of you with your posts or inviting, get over it. And then number 10, setting unrealistic goals that paralyze you. Guilty as charged. Setting smaller goals that will actually lead you to take action and being okay with that. And so this was the website that I was looking at for these, and I put that in the slides. I'll put it in our team page. But each one of these, they go more into depth about as well. So it's a good read when you're, feeling down or feeling like you're not where you want to be yet. But as I said earlier, it really, like with this tracking thing, and I'm like, gosh, like that was 2 hours of work and I didn't feel like, it should be done, like I should have this all completed. But then I thought, because yesterday morning I a couple times a month, I like to volunteer at school with Nolan's school, and basically I take the kids out one by one and we read, and everybody's at a different level. And Renee, you're the reading specialist, but I kind of like equated it to that, it's just like, I'm just starting, and of course I'm going to be slow, of doing this. And the more that we do it, just like reading a book and learning how to read, you get faster and faster and better and stronger, and you could read a lot more in a smaller amount of time. So it's really no different with our business too, and just starting to do the daily tasks every day. So I thought that was good. But I did want to, while we're on the subject of Ashley, I wanted to show you some of her YouTube channel. So let me bring it up so you could see the difference in her. So this is Ashley. Again, she's like in her 20s. She's totally rocking it this year. And if you go to videos, and I highly recommend, like, when you're driving or getting ready, just to go through a lot of her content. But what I did was I went to the oldest. And so if you go to the oldest videos.
Do you want to share screen? We're looking at you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks for letting me know.
Mm-hmm.
Share. Okay, so here's her YouTube channel. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. So I just sorted by the oldest videos. And it's so cool. I actually even messaged her yesterday because I just was like thanking her for having all of these on here to learn from, and also how I said, congrats on your success. And it's so cool to see, you know, like your transformation, you know, from 3 years ago to who she is today and how she runs calls and stuff. But, you know, she was talking about like how, and she even talks about it on calls today, how she was like, you know, her first team calls were like in the cinder block of a basement, you know, and she showed up not as her best self, you know, like her energy was really low. You know, at this point in time, she was struggling to hit Success Club 5. And now her, like, you know, she's averaging like 50 plus for Success Club per month. But there, you know, you could see like she just looks, you know, totally different as a person, right? And then if you go to the newest ones, doesn't she look like a totally different person?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like and you'll notice, and you know, now she's got all these you know, very successful coaches running her calls as well. But just the way she shows up, like in her videos, it's I encourage you to like look back from 3 years, just watch one of her videos and then click on like a recent team call, because you will see it's like a totally different person. And that's really her point, is that you do become a different person through this business and through doing the daily activities every day. So for me, it was really encouraging, because here she is now a 15-star diamond with a huge team kicking ass. And just 3 years ago, she was struggling and on the verge of quitting, you know, until she just said, you know what, I'm not doing the things every day. And if I did, well, let's see what happens, you know? So for me, you know, if you're ever down or feeling like you are on the fence of quitting, I highly encourage you to go back to, you know, her before and after videos and just get some encouragement. She also shares a ton of just little tidbits, little nuggets on how she runs her business. And I think it's really great content. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. But we are hitting, as you know, the months of where we're going to hear a lot of rejection, and October, November, December especially are the ones where it is going to be a lot slower. But you know, we are then creating that funnel for when people hit January and they want to get in shape, then they'll know who to reach out to, which will be you, because you invited them. And then also just like staying on our own fitness journey too, you know, so continuing to show up, continuing to press play, and to be that example for everybody else. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. But now I'll open it up for discussion, and you know, if anybody wants to throw out anything in addition to, if you've been using the tracker, if you've had similar ahas lately with, like, you know, whether you're not inviting as many as you thought you were, or following up, or any of that.
I could definitely attest to your tracking. You know, it's interesting that when you're speaking my language with reading, even with my struggling readers,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we celebrate any win. You know, if we progress monitor weekly, Like I literally will celebrate, like, yay, you improved one word this week. Like that's a celebration. Like honestly, these are conversations we have. Like you're going up, you're not going down. You know, so I get that. I don't track my own business, which is interesting because I like my world of tracking progress with kids is a weekly habit. But yeah, that's interesting. So I want to I know in the past on even this I've added in the past the numbers. So kind of like what you were saying before. So just in that cell, just so I wasn't doing multiple things, I would be writing in, 10 contacts or four invites, just so I would see the habit days. But I know what's worked for me, and this is kind of seeming to work now. Like 2 weeks ago, I was making a lot of connections, and I was really, really just focusing on connections. And I think that works for my brain is like that bulk mindset, where I'm just only doing that. Where this week I feel like I'm really only focusing on invites, and those conversations are invites, questions, follow-ups, invites, questions, follow-ups. And that's a loop. But I can tell that I'm not adding any new people to my network, if you want to say. But I think that works for my brain too, because I just have a hard time toggling, especially when I only have like a good solid hour, or then I work in chunks. So I think I'll just have to kind of keep going with that, but lay out the month. Now that I know consistently we'll be starting on the 1st, okay, the first couple weeks of the month are only going to be connections. And I have to be okay with that, with letting go of the tracker or the tracking of the invites, but then make sure that, let's say if the goal should be, 3 to 5 a day. So that would equal what? 21 to 35 a week, then making sure that I kind of make up for it in those second half of the month, if that makes sense, So kind of the numbers game too. But I think I've realized that this week has been helpful when I'm only focused on one thing. And then I have really good conversations happening right now. I'm really hoping that the 5 in the ringer. Thank you, Amanda, for that PDF. I saw it and I was intimidated by it, and then when you edited it, I was like, oh, this isn't as hard as I thought. It's literally 20 minutes to add a picture and just kind of make it my own wording. And I feel like it's something I can keep it simple, ask the questions, but then offer that, So yeah, I think as a whole, some eye-opening things going on for me too. But I appreciate what you're saying. I think that's so true. To mirror that, I remember you had shared an Ashley Molstead video, and she was talking about how she had a viral post go crazy, and how everybody wishes they had a viral post. But then she had a really good thing to follow up with. Even if you did, do you know what to do after that? Are you prepared in your business to take on an extra 5,000 followers? Because that means that you're, you know what I mean? So what that meant to me though was I don't have the habits to take on that much, I have the habits to take on just a couple, you know what I mean? So you're right. We are exactly where we're supposed to be, because I wouldn't be prepped and ready for that either, so little by little, but I think tracking would be key. I would love to, now that I feel like this week I'm in a better mindset, to share, maybe, share the tracker. And I'm going to vote for daily for myself, but I'll just kind of post in the group.
Yeah.
I've said that before, but I think I would hold me a little accountable. And I don't care, judgment, because I might not do it all. But I think I'll just have to let go of that fear of judgment,
Me as well. I think good, because she did mention many times too, the importance of a success partner. And I feel like we're all success partners, with the thread that we have going on and stuff. So yeah, I think if we want to take a screenshot, or not a screenshot, but a picture of your tracker every day, or for myself, it'll probably be this sheet, just so I know. And I think it will be cool to see our own transformations on our, maybe the first week or first few weeks suck, and that's okay, because we're learning, it's just the habits, and I know that at the end of the day, we do it with fitness, we know, but it's the same thing with this. And yeah, I'm on board 100% to do that. So good. anybody else wants to do that too.
Yep, I'm on board. I find the same thing, like the same boxes are missing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like every day,
Yeah.
I don't post a lot of my healthy meals because I don't cook. Like it's not something that I'm like proud of, you know. So it'll, like you're saying, Tiffany habits, like it'll force me to be better about that because I want to, and like share that journey, like, you know, and kind of relate to people who are scared of the kitchen, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So, but I think that I need to create a habit, because now that I did it 1 week, and it might sound silly, like now that I did it 7 days and I actually did it 7 days, this is the first time that I've actually looked at it every single day. Like every single time we meet, I'm like, oh yeah, the tracker. And then I'll do it for like 3 days. And then I'm like, what tracker? You know, so then I come back I loop back here and I'm like, oh yeah, this whole thing, you know, and I'm like dusting it off, like, you know, and I'm like, oh, right. So this week I did it. I actually like check marked things off for every single day. So
that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
My I'm laughing because you said 3. My magic but not so magic number is 3. Like I'm really good at doing something for 3 days and then forgetting or skipping 1, and then all of a sudden I just stop. Like I don't have.
But
like,
isn't that like diet too, though? Like 3 days of a good diet, and then it's like, oh, by the way, it's Friday and we're going out, and then Saturday, well, let's go out too, and then Sunday, we already screwed it up, you know, and it's Monday, so everybody does it.
Yeah.
It's just another thing that we need to be like, don't do it. Just one more day. Just one more day. Like push play, but like push play on invites. Push send.
Right.
So
and what I think is so cool, like I mentioned, she was a full-time first grade teacher. So she literally would only work for an hour a day, you know, like she would come home. And so it's just cool to see her progression too, because she's so real. Because a lot of times I feel like you hear from top coaches and you hear like little tidbits, but her, it's like everything's out there. She tells you exactly how she was. And it really was just an hour a day. And then it became like 2 hours a day, you know, and she mentions very much so if you want to build just some side additional income, like 1 hour a day is fine. If you want to build, 100,000 plus, fire your boss, 2 to 3 hours is really what you should be aiming for, you know, and it's just really 2 hours of a power hour, you know. So I thought that was good. Heather, how are you? How was your week?
Gosh, it was good. I'm sorry I was late. I had Zoom problems.
Oh, no worries.
Everything was really good. I tried to get 3 to 5. I was filling out the sheet. I was filling out my tracker sheet. But like everybody, not everything's punched in. And really this week was, Jose and I got our taxes assessed. We had some drama and they shorted my escrow like $8,000. So I had to figure out where to get $8,000 from.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Because our house is new, but I didn't expect like something like that to happen. So I was kind of down just on my life. It was just life happened.
Yeah.
So I mean everything's fine. We're moving forward because we knew something was going to happen. We just didn't know the amount it was going to be. I guess like that kind of puts a lot of things in perspective, but it like brought me down because like I felt like I had no real job. Like I felt like I wasn't doing my job. Not that I would get $8,000 later on either, but like I don't know. I went into like some sort of like weird depression because I really didn't know what to do and how to fix it fast enough for everyone else. So that kind of put this part in perspective because I wanted it to be so successful, but not in a realistic way. Like, I guess this is probably a good talk because I'm not where I should be, or I'm not where I wanted to be in 3 years, but I'm also not where I started either. So I I kind of lost like even my healthy like regimen because I was just kind of like in a funk the whole like week or two because it's been about 2 weeks that I've been kind of crazy. So we're picking up more houses, which means that job is kind of starting to get more flowing. I put an ad closer to home, and obviously we're just figuring out things, and we had to put like our savings where that was. So now we're just trying to figure out because Christmas is coming up and all that. So I really just started kind of to map out goals for November and December because I know how sales are for November and December. And also like and hoping that January will be like when I can talk to as many people as these 2 months that I could get ready for January.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of how I've been like talking about like when I came back on stories, I talked about like, are you going to wait for New Year's resolution? Because that's coming up. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's already thinking about it. So like, I'm trying to like, be grateful for what you have now, get ready for what you're going to have, kind of like feel to it. So, and that for myself, I have to start like looking at the good things. Like, I don't know, Jose is working out. I've gotten like other people to work out just because I'm not necessarily encouraging the masses like I thought I was going to. I really did. I was so stupid when I started this. I really thought I was going to just like rock it out of the world just because of my personality being so spunky. And that's just not what sells people. I mean, I motivate people, but I don't sell people. And that's where I just realized that I have to be more, I don't know, like more tough love when I'm talking to people. Not always so nice, not always no worry, I'll check back next month. Like, I'm asking you for a reason, and this is every month you've said no, and why? Like, even those like harsh comments that are the comment, the inviting like comebacks to people. Like, I should use those more often. I don't. I sucker myself out of it, and I don't feel like I'm good enough to say those words to these people. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I'm not in a position to tell you that, like, when I read it, like, I can't send that out. So, like, I gotta stop stopping myself, so to speak, because I feel like I am who was always in my own way. I know I'm a very big talker, but I do not walk the walk. So I've just been a lot of, I don't know, yelling matches at myself. So it's been a good week. We're moving forward, but yeah, I'm hoping that I also need to be more involved in the groups like I was when I started. I just know I feel like cocky, and I'm not. I still do need the groups, and I still do need to come and show up every day. I still need to be that person who thought I was going to slay it, because obviously I'm not, and that person was doing a better job than, this person who's kind of stuck. So just in a different mindset, and, getting back to just real goals and reality goals. So the tracker helps me just kind of stay on task. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? And at the end of the day, if I haven't touched it, I look at it and I just check off what I did do, and then just feel better. So it's not been perfect, but the next week's a different week. So thanks for letting me say that.
Oh my gosh, I'm like tearing up listening to your story, but no, it's good. And that's what this is for, to be real with each other. Like, and I can't say that I'm doing everything, and everybody's in the same boat, and we're all there to help support each other as we get better. And I hope to one day look back on our videos and be like, wow, look at who we were then, and look at who we are now, and so no, it is a struggle. It is. And I think you will blow people away with your personality. It just takes time. You're just not there yet,
But I think I remember one time you made the joke of Jose being like, so they tell you what to do, like literally tell you what to do, and like and you being like, yeah, I know, I just stopped doing it. It's like a reality of yourself. And trust me, I've had many reality checks. But I would agree, and I think you have a perfect husband to bounce those like closing tactics against. What would Jose say? I mean, play that against yourself. What would Jose say? obviously this is his world, you know, and maybe he will force you to kind of put the pressure on a little bit more, because salesmen do, you know, they force you to make a commitment right now, right?
I
So
like that. WWJS. What did they say? I think though, like coming back with a question though, is what you need to do, Heather, because like you're not confident, but throw the ball back in their court. Like what is, so I read a couple of the like, what are they called? Not comebacks, but whatever they're called, that Renee sent. And it's like, wait, what part of it is too expensive? What part of it is too time consuming? What part of it do you not want to do? Because then when you do that, it makes them, even if they don't respond, they're thinking about it. Like, oh yeah, Heather did say, and it might take a few months for them to click me, but they will, you know, like at least they'll be thinking about it. Like Heather's always in my back pocket if I ever need or feel like I'm at that point. And then as you're posting, like they're going to be relating to you, like, yeah, you had a bad day, so get out there and sweat. And I do think you walk the walk, like as far as you're working out and, you know, and being just real, because we're all real,
yeah.
you know. So keep your head up, girlfriend.
I know.
Chin up.
We're about to get kicked off as usual. All right. Love you guys. Hope to see some of you next week and make it a good week. But have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.